Hi, welcome to Lynn's Recipes. Tonight for dinner I'm making chicken mole enchiladas. This is one of my favorite Mexican dishes, and I have tried to find recipes for this before, and it takes a long time to make the mole sauce, and a lot of times the ingredients that you need are really hard to find around where I live. I found this recipe and was able to find all of the ingredients, so I wanted to share it with you today. The amounts of the ingredients that you're going to need to make these enchiladas will be listed in the information box below. You can find it on the website or the Roku channel. This is what you're going to need: boneless, skinless chicken breast, kosher salt, freshly ground pepper, olive oil, some dried ancho chilies, smooth peanut butter, olive oil, chopped garlic, dried oregano, corn tortillas, chicken broth, chopped onions. You'll need some Mexican chocolate, and this is what it looks like when you buy it at the grocery store. Some queso fresco, and some Mexican cream. You need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and you'll need a casserole dish that you have sprayed with cooking spray. I have my chicken breast on this cooking sheet. I've lined it with some non-stick aluminum foil, and what I'm going to do is drizzle the olive oil over it. Now this calls for a half a cup of olive oil, but I don't see the need to use that much, so I'm just going to drizzle some on. And now I'm going to season it with the kosher salt and the fresh black pepper. And now this goes in the preheated 375 degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes until they're nice and done. While my chicken is cooking, I need to reconstitute these dried ancho chilies. So I have a cup and a half of water here that I've boiled, and I'm just going to pour it over the chilies, and we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes so they can reconstitute. The next step is to toast 2 of my corn tortillas. So I have a dry skillet here, and I'm going to turn this on high, and we're going to put it in, and it will get toasty and golden and crunchy, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Okay, this one's ready, so I'm going to move it to a plate, and we're going to just put the other one in and do the same thing. Okay, the second one is done, so I'm going to take it out and remove it to the plate. And now what we're going to do is we're going to tear these up. So I'm just going to start ripping them apart. Okay, I finished ripping these up, and I'm going to set this aside. We're going to use this to put into our mole sauce. I have a skillet here that I'm going to turn on and add my olive oil. And when this is hot, I'm going to add my onions. My olive oil is hot, so I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to put a little kosher salt, and I'm going to saute these for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm ready to add my garlic. I'm going to add that and cook it for another 2 minutes. Okay, this is all done, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step. I'm going to transfer the onions and the garlic into my blender. Set that aside. And to this I'm going to add my tortillas that I toasted. We're going to add the peanut butter. My reconstituted chilies. This oregano. And my chicken stock. And now we're going to blend this all together until it's smooth. I just wanted to let you know that I did drain the chilies before I put them in. So I'm going to put the top on here, and we're just going to start blending this until it's smooth. Okay, that looks good, so now I'm ready to move on. Transferred my mole sauce to the skillet, and I'm going to bring this to a boil on high. After it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat, and I'm going to cover it and cook it for 20 minutes. This has come to a boil, so I'm going to reduce the heat and cover it and cook it for 20 minutes. My chicken is done, so while my mole sauce is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and shred the chicken so we're ready to make the enchiladas. So I'm just going to take a knife and we're just going to start cutting it and shredding it. My sauce cooked for 20 minutes, so what I'm going to do now is add the chocolate. We're going to let that melt. I'm going to add some salt and some pepper. I'm just going to cook this until all of the chocolate is melted. My mole sauce is done, and what I'm going to do now is take a cup of it out to reserve for the top of the enchiladas. So I'm just going to have a measure here. I'm just going to scoop some in. To assemble these, I'm going to take the corn tortillas, I'm going to dip them in the mole sauce, put them on a plate, put the chicken down the middle, roll them up, and put them in the casserole dish. So here we go. I've got my corn tortilla here. Just going to dip it here. I'm going to take my chicken, put it down the middle, and I'm going to roll it up and lay it in my casserole dish. I'm just going to continue on till I have them all done. I have my enchiladas assembled here. I have my reserved mole here, and I'm just going to spoon this over the top. Cover them all up. These are going to go in my preheated 375-degree oven for about 25 minutes until they're nice and hot and bubbly. The enchiladas are done. I just took them out of the oven. They baked for 25 minutes, and now what I want to do is garnish them. So what I have here is I put the Mexican cream in this little bag, and I'm going to snip off the end, and then I'm just going to drizzle it over the top of the enchiladas. And then I broke up my queso fresco. It comes in like a little round, and I just broke it apart, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. Then I have a little bit of chopped onion that I'm just going to sprinkle and scatter across the top of it. It's the way we've always had it served in restaurants, so that's what I'm going to do. And also some sesame seeds. Just sprinkle them on the top of that. And then finally a little bit of cilantro. That'll give it a nice color. And so now I'm ready to serve a piece and show you what it looks like. I've put a couple of these enchiladas on a plate to show you what they look like served. These are chicken mole enchiladas. I hope you enjoy them.